Good morning everyone. This is Raghu, Assistant Professor of Biotechnology from SRN BGNR Government College, Khammam. So today's topic is bacterial membrane transport system. So we have seen the structure of bacterial cell membranes and also peptidoglycan LPS layer in gram-negative bacteria and the differences between gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So in this topic we will see the transport mechanisms across these plasma membranes, especially in bacterial cells. So the best explained plasma membrane structure is by fluid mosaic model, which was given by Singer and Nicholson. As we know, the plasma membrane comprises of lipids, proteins and also carbohydrates. So this fluid mosaic model explains how these biomolecules are present in the plasma membrane or they are distributed in the plasma membrane. So the lipid plasma membrane structure comprises of lipid bilayer, as we already know. So you can clearly see the lipid bilayer where the polar heads are present the outside and inside the structure, and hydrophobic non-polar tails are present embedded in the outer and inner layer. So this is the structure of lipid bilayer. So the lipid bilayer contains proteins embedded in the lipid bilayer, and these proteins are integral proteins or intrinsic proteins as well as extrinsic proteins. So these proteins which are present on the plasma membrane or embedded in the plasma membrane play an important role in the transport of molecules across the biological membranes. That is the major function. A part of that, they are the sites for the attachment of carbohydrate moieties. So together with carbohydrate moieties, the proteins are called as glycoproteins. So you can clearly see the fluid mosaic model lipid bilayer where the proteins are embedded, and these proteins play an important role in the process of transport also molecules across the biological membranes. So you can see the individual phospholipid molecule, water soluble glycerol and phosphate portion, which is a water soluble portion, and fatty acid portion, which is water insoluble portion. So this is the Singer and Nicholson fluid mosaic model. Simple representation of plasma membrane structure. While coming into the functions of the plasma membrane, especially in bacteria, the first and foremost function is the transport across the biological membrane. So plasma membrane play an important role in transport of molecules outside and inside the plasma membrane. And all the transport systems and the proteins which are involved in the transport system are present on the plasma membrane. A part of that, respiratory proteins are also present on the plasma membrane. So generally these respiratory proteins are present in mitochondria in case of eukaryotic cells. These respiratory proteins, including ATP synthase, is present in the plasma membrane of the bacterial cells. Since bacterial cells, they does not contain mitochondria, all the photosynthetic apparatus and the electron transport chain system, including ATP synthase, are present on the plasma membrane. A part of that, gram-negative cells, they contain LPS layer, which is called as lipopolysaccharide layer, and a murin layer, which is also called as peptidoglycan, is common both in gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So transport across biological membranes, electron transport system, photosynthesis are the some major functions of the cell membrane. So some other functions includes DNA replication and binary fission. So bacterial cells also divide by binary fission, and also DNA replication is seen in the bacteria, semi-conservative mode of replication. And this plasma membrane with the help of mesosomes play an important role in the process of DNA replication and also play an important role in septum formation during binary fission. And the locomotory organs like flagella and cilia are seen inserted in the plasma membrane. So ATP synthase will provide energy that is present on the plasma membrane, and this energy is utilized by the flagella or cilia for the transport of the bacteria. So that means chemotaxis, mobility away from the chemical compounds or towards the chemical compounds. So that is the chemotaxis. And also plasma membrane play an important role in the process of removal of waste and also endosperm formation in the bacterial cells. So a part of all these functions, they play an important role in quorum sensing. So behavior of bacterial cells in presence of chemical compounds, that is quorum sensing. These are the functions of the plasma membrane. So while coming into the transport systems in bacterial cells, there are four major types of transport systems: passive diffusion, facilitated diffusion, active transport, and group translocation. So the first one is passive diffusion. Here in passive diffusion, it is also called as simple diffusion. The diffusion is based on the concentration gradient from large concentration to small concentration. The particles are seen transported from large concentration to small concentration. That is called as simple diffusion. In facilitated diffusion, here the molecule which is to be transported, it is called as solute particles. It is called as solute particles. So in facilitated diffusion, the solute particles are transported with the help of transport proteins, special transport proteins. Passive diffusion, it is simple diffusion. It is from higher concentration gradient to lower concentration gradient. In facilitated diffusion, the solute particles are transported with the help of a transporter. And in active transport, it is of two types: ion driven transport and binding protein dependent transport. So ion dependent in active transport, the transport is with the help of energy. So energy is utilized in the process of active transport. Generally speaking, it may be called as several other transport systems, like the types of transport system include symport, antiport, uniport, etc. It depends upon the condition of the bacterial cell, which diffusion it has to be implemented. So in active transport system, energy is utilized for the transport of the solute particles. If energy in the form of H plus ions is utilized for the transport of solute particles, it is called as ion driven transport. If special proteins bind to the solute particles and with the help of ATP, if they transport the solute particle, then it is binding protein dependent transport system. So that is active transport. So in group translocation, phosphoenol pyruvate. So the phosphate group on phosphoenol pyruvate play an important role with the help of a group of proteins or enzymes for the transport of solute particle. So the high energy phosphate present in phosphoenol pyruvate with the help of some group of proteins plays an important role in the transport of solute particles, that is group translocation. So these are the different transport systems in the bacterial cells. So first one is passive diffusion. So as I mentioned, passive diffusion, it is also called as simple diffusion, and the transport is from higher concentration to lower concentration. You can clearly see in the diagram. So plasma membrane, there is high concentration of solute particles outside the plasma membrane. Then they simply diffuse through the plasma membrane where there is low concentration of the solute. So this is called as simple diffusion. And the molecules which play an important role in the process of this simple diffusion includes all the gaseous compounds, nitrogen, oxygen, CO2, etc. And also some polar molecules like ethanol, water molecules and urea are transported by this simple diffusion. So sometimes the simple diffusion is carried out through channel proteins. So gases, they will diffuse through the plasma membrane. Sometimes some molecules like water and urea, they are transported with the help of some channel proteins. And these channel proteins are called as aquaporins. So you can clearly see the channel protein. So the water molecule from outside the plasma membrane, it is coming to inside the plasma membrane. This is just by concentration gradient from higher to lower concentration. And this is mediated by channel proteins. So here they are called as, if it is water molecule to be transported, they are called as aquaporins. So aquaporins play an important role in the process of simple diffusion of water molecules. So that is simple or passive diffusion from higher concentration to lower concentration. So the other mode of transport systems include facilitated diffusion, where the solute particles are seen bound to a carrier molecule. Then the carrier molecule plays an important role in the transport of solute molecule from outside the membrane to inside the membrane. So that is facilitated diffusion. So in active transport, ATP or proton motive force play an important role along with carrier molecules in the transport of solute particles from outer membrane to inner membrane. So you can clearly see the use of ATP molecules or proton motive force in the transport of solute particles across the plasma membrane, and this is also mediated by proteins. And in group translocation, the solute particles are transported from outer membrane to inner membrane with the help of group of proteins and energy obtained from the phosphoenol pyruvate. So in this process, phosphoenol pyruvate will be converted into pyruvate, and the energy on the phosphoenol pyruvate, it is utilized by group of proteins during the transport of the solute molecules. So these are the other three kinds of diffusion processes across the plasma membrane. So you can clearly see facilitated diffusion. So transport of substances across a membrane along a concentration gradient from area of higher concentration to lower concentration by transport proteins such as uniportous and channel proteins. So here also in facilitated diffusion, the transport is from higher concentration to lower concentration, but it is mediated by transport proteins. And this type of transport system is least common in bacteria. Only few molecules are transported with facilitated diffusion, and the best example is glycerol uniporter in E. coli cells is the best example for facilitated diffusion, where glycerol is transported from higher concentration gradient to lower concentration gradient with the help of transport proteins. So that is facilitated diffusion. So next one is active transport. So as I mentioned, active transport is a process where either ion gradient is used for the transport of solute molecules, or ATP along with proteins are involved in the transport of solute molecules. So here the active transport is two types: ion driven transport system IDT and binding protein dependent transport system BPDT. So here in IDT is a symport or antiport process that uses either proton motive force or some other cation. So in IDT, it will use proton motive force or some other cation that plays an important role in the transport of the solute molecule. And the process may be symport or antiport. Whereas in BPTD, binding protein dependent transport systems, best example is ABC system, ATP binding cassette proteins. So these ATP binding cassette proteins are membrane proteins which utilize ATP, hence they are called as ATP binding cassette proteins during the transport of the solute molecules. So best example is histidine transport system in E. coli cells and also drug efflux system in bacteria are the best examples of BPTD ATP binding cassette system. And the group and the molecules that are transported by IDT are ions and amino acids, and BPDT is especially sugars and amino acids. So you can clearly see the ion gradient dependent transport, active transport here. Best example is lactose permease system. So where a proton pump is transporting the H plus ion outside the cell. So this H plus ions now accumulated outside the cell and the H plus ion concentration is less inside the cell. So there is a concentration gradient created here. So that is number one. And this concentration gradient drives the transport of the solute molecules through the protein complex. So you can clearly see the protein complex here, galactoside permease. So this is the protein complex. And H plus ion concentration gradient, so that means it is a proton motive force, is utilized for the transport of lactose from outside the inside the cell. So you can clearly see the H plus ion again entering from outside the cell to inside the cell, from higher concentration gradient to lower concentration gradient, but a proton motive force is used. Hence it is called as active transport system. And during the transport of H plus ions, lactose is transported from outside the cell to inside the cell by galactoside permease. And this type of mechanism is also using proteins that are embedded on the plasma membrane. So this is ion gradient proton driven transport of solute molecules. So the next one is ABC cassette transporters. So you can clearly see the ATP binding cassette transporter on the plasma membrane. So the solute particles are the substrate. So the substrate binding protein will bind to the solute particle and then it will bind to the carrier protein, the ABC transporter cassette protein. So the ABC transporter cassette protein have the ability to bind to ATP molecules, and these ATP molecules will go and bind to the active sites of the cassette proteins. Then the ABC transporters would able to transport the solute particles which are bound to the substrate binding protein from outside the cell to inside the cell. So this is the process how the solute particles will bind to the protein and solute protein complex to ABC transporter system, and ABC transporter system with the help of ATP utilization, they will transport the solute particles from outside the membrane to inside the membrane. So that is ATP binding cassette transporter. So bacterial cells which are highly resistant to drugs exhibit this type of ABC transporter system. In general also bacterial cells they contain ATP binding cassette proteins, but drug resistant bacterial cells they contain large amount of this ABC cassette proteins. So ATP binding cassette proteins are ABC transporters. So with the help of these ABC transporters, these bacterial cells will efflux the drugs that enter into the bacterial cells. We have seen that many of the drugs they will enter the bacterial cells with the help of simple diffusion or passive diffusion. And these drugs will kill the bacteria by various mechanisms, either by inhibition of transcription or translation or peptidoglycan synthesis, etc. Some bacteria will show resistance to these antibiotics. How they show resistance is They contain large amount of ABC transporters. When these antibiotics enters the cells by passive diffusion or simple diffusion, these ABC transporters with the help of ATP utilization, they will efflux these antibiotics from inside the cell to outside. So such that the antibiotic action will be nullified on the bacterial cells. So this is how the bacterial cells become resistant to the antibiotics and efflux the antibiotics with the help of ABC transport systems. So this is a best example of active transport system. So the next one is group translocation. So as I mentioned, group translocation means a series of proteins are used and play an important role in the transport of a molecule solute particle from outside the membrane to inside the cell. So here phosphoenol pyruvate. So here the phosphate group which is present on phosphoenol pyruvate is transported through a series of proteins. You can clearly see HPR, enzyme B, enzyme B2, etc. here. So these are the series of proteins where the phosphate group on the phosphoenol pyruvate is transferred. Finally transferred to the carrier protein which is present on the plasma membrane. So finally the phosphate group which is present on PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate, is transferred through a series of proteins onto plasma membrane protein. Now this phosphate group is used for the transport, and this phosphate group even transferred onto the solute particle, and the solute will enter into the cell. So glucose can simply diffuse through membrane proteins from outside to inside the cell. So it will be prevented from back diffusion with the help of conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. If glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate, it cannot go back outside the cell. So and this phosphorylation is done with the help of group translocation, where PEP plays an important role in phosphate donation, and a group of proteins carry out the phosphate and finally transport onto the transporter protein, which finally transport the phosphate onto glucose, converting it into glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. So now the glucose which entered into the cell is converted into glucose 6-phosphate with the help of transporter protein that is present on the plasma membrane, and this glucose 6-phosphate is utilized in the metabolism. So since a group of proteins playing an important role in the transport of solute molecules, it is called as group translocation or phosphoryl transport systems. It is also called as PTS, phosphoryl transport system. So that is group translocation. This is how the transport of molecules occurs across the biological membranes. So simple or passive diffusion, it is from higher concentration to lower concentration. Facilitated diffusion, same from higher concentration to lower concentration, which is mediated by transporter proteins. And active transport system, ATP dependent cassette proteins or proton motive force dependent transport system, and group translocation, where it utilizes phosphate on the phosphoenol pyruvate system. So this is how solute particles are transported from outside to inside the bacterial cells. So thank you for patiently listening the topic.